Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let's Start Together. So, how you can create your first Nobbies and how you can get up and running with Nobby. My name is Clint Collins. I'm the CEO here at Nobby. And let's get started. If you don't know already, Nobby mission is to capture humanity's know-how and make everyone an instant expert. And we strive to make that as easy as possible for everybody to do. Easy to capture the know-how, easy to share that know-how. So what we'll go through today is a quick demo. And in this demo, we'll use our video intelligence feature where you can capture a video of a process. You can upload that process into Nobby. So first things first is you'll need to capture the video. So we've got a video that's already been captured over here. And you can just do this with your iPhone or Android phone. It's basically, it doesn't need to be perfect. So I'll bring up a video that we've got over here in the corner. And this one is how to assemble a workshop rack. Your video could be of anything, any instruction whatsoever. But the idea is you film what you're doing and then you talk about what's actually happening to it as well. So we recommend using a little attachment like this. This is a Lanzi CM028. And what it allows you to do is allows you to pop your phone, for example, directly on your chest like this. You can hit the record button and then you can speak exactly into the phone. You can speak exactly what's actually happening in front of you. It allows you to keep both your hands free, allows you to keep your hands safe, and you can concentrate, specifically on the task at hand. Now, here is a video of one of those video recordings, and it's quite simple. So I'll just show you the first part of it.
8 long beams for holding the shelves, 8 short beams, 8 cross supports for supporting the middle of them.
The video doesn't need to be beautiful. It just needs to express, not impress.
First off, to assemble, install some plastic feet.
And you're just talking about what you're actually doing as you're going through it all.
Orientation, these keyholes here, the big hole faces up, we want the feet down here.
So you can see that, there's a bit of noise in the background. That's fine. The video doesn't look amazing. So I'm going to stop there and I'll stop sharing this. And what I'll do is I'll bring up Nobby and I'll give you a view of what Nobby actually looks like. So I've just shown you the video. And if I click generate Nobby with AI, I'm going to upload that same video into Nobby right now. I would absolutely love to have a fiber optic connection. So if you're in my local council area and you're listening, I would appreciate fiber optics. Thank you. So you can see now it's generating the Nobby. This is where it's running through our AI engine and it's going to separate all the audio out. So if you jump into the generated Nobby, you can see that it has taken that video. And if I click on get started here, it has transcribed all of that audio directly out into steps. And you can see all of these steps have been created and it tells you exactly what you need to do. Make sure you've got the right orientation, big holes face up, So all of these steps have been created. You didn't have to create them one by one. It's all been done for you. Now I can instantly, you heard that was a strong Irish accent. I can instantly translate this into any language. So what language would you like today, John? Let's pick a random one.
Well, let's have Hindi.
Hindi, okay. For anybody out there that speaks Hindi or reads Hindi, what's it? Here we go. There is all of these instructions step by step in Hindi. And I can bring it back into English again just by click of a button. Now, some of these things here, I'd like to clean this up a little bit. So I'm going to go into the editing mode, and this takes us into what we call Nobby Studio. So it's a non-linear video and image editing software that allows you to make your step the way you'd like it to be, make your step-by-step instructions. In here, you can you have a cover image that's automatically created, but maybe you want to grab one from a screenshot in the video and pop that up there. You can use this one, for example. You can also click on this little pencil and you can change it to whatever image you like. It has automatically generated the title and is taken a description from the first step. Now, there's a few other little features I'll just touch on. You can, for things like quality assurance, like ISO 9001, you are required to review your processes periodically. So here is where you can select a next review date for this process, and then you'll have a report that will tell you which processes are coming up for review. Additionally, you can, for people actually doing these processes, you can set the amount of time it's going to take for you to follow this process. Assembling this rack shouldn't take more than 15 minutes, so I'll set it there for 15 minutes. And we also have internal reference IDs. So this could be tracking, specific process documents or processes themselves, or it could even be used for products. So when you use a search feature, you can put in the internal reference ID and it will come up with the Nobbies that pertain to it. So we'll jump into steps. Inside steps, you can see that we've got all of our step-by-step instructions here. On the right-hand side, this is like a text field where you can add all the typical kind of formatting you'd like, text formatting, bold, italic. You can do different sizes. You've got bullet points, numbered lists. You can have like quotations. So I could maybe say this one here, for example, I could select this and I can put it in a little box by itself. You can link things as well. So I can go in and say .nobby.co. This could be a link out to your process documents. It could be a link out to a separate system. It could be any kind of link you'd like. So you can deep link into any Nobby and you can deep link out of any Nobby from any system. And if I click on this link button here, I can just put Nobby website as an example, if I can spell it properly, and then hit save. So you can see that that's a link out to the Nobby website there, and you can click on that and that'll open up. When it's actually published, it'll open up in a website. Now, over here, you also have the ability to link a Nobby. And what that means is I can jump into any Nobby already in my environment. And this can be very useful for things like what kind of PPE do I need to use for a specific type of job. Rather than putting that into every single Nobby, you can just have a link out that will take you out and they can follow that Nobby and then come back into this for the specific instructions that they need to follow. It makes it a lot more modular, so you're not having to build a lot of content into each Nobby. You can just jump out and jump back in.
I just wanted to mention one of the really nice things with the Nobby linking is you can have extremely complex and detailed instructions broken down by using these links almost as sub-chapters that you can step out to and go through. And you can also use it to allow people to have a decision. So they get to a certain step within the Nobby and you ask them, you know, if you're looking at a machine, for instance, is the light green or is the light white? And they can click on those colors and that'll take them to a separate instruction stream. And when they complete whatever they need to do, it'll return them back to the step that they left from. So it's a really nice way. And we're seeing people in the scientific, medical and high-tech equipment worlds using it in that way. So it's being used to really cater for those extremely complex and detailed instructions.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So if we jump into the second step, and you can see this one's a little bit short. So, you know, I might just want to merge this with the step below, and that brings a text up and it opens a video out a bit longer as well, so that it covers, you know, all the area of what they're talking about. So in this specific video here, I might just want to go, you know what, I'm going to trim that in a bit. I don't really need it all the way, so I can trim it to how I would like it. You can crop as well. So in this one, if I just want to be able to crop this section in here, I can do that. You can annotate. So I can draw a rectangle or a circle, or I can use a Sharpie, for example. I can draw over like this. I can put a line or an arrow. You can do whatever you like. You can even put text in if you like as well. So there's some text there. And additionally, we have all of the ISO 7010 stickers as well. So you can go into here, for example, and you can say, this one, we need something with a fire extinguisher. Let's pop that up in the corner here. Or we've got things like you need to make sure you've got footwear on, you know, face, eye protection, face protection, those kind of things. You can put them wherever you like. They're just little stickers. And you've got numbers as well. So maybe you want to say first you do this, and maybe you want to do this over here on the second thing. So you can adjust it as much as you like. So I'll clean up and go to another step here. And I want to show you a feature that's called forms. Now, not only are Nobby's for guiding you through instructions, but they're also for gathering information back from the people who are executing those instructions. And Nobby itself is an enterprise guidance platform. So what that means is you can guide all of your workers on how they need to do things. But what you can also do is you can take the information that they capture while they're doing these tasks, and you can update other back-end systems. So it saves you from having, you know, your field workers having to access complex or outdated back-end systems. You know, for example, having to update certain fields in the asset management system and have to dig 16 different pages into it. So here you can create a form, and I might create a form here, for example, and it can be any of these: short answers, long answers, check boxes, single choice, multi-choice, drop down. So I'm going to go with a multiple choice, and I'm going to say, is it red or blue? Everyone's seen the matrix. You see red pills, blue pills. What we've got on here as well, we have the ability to make this required, and that means that the person won't be able to go to the next step, or sorry, they won't be able to complete the Nobby unless they fill in this specific value in this field. So they'll be able to go to the next step. When they get to the end, it will tell them, hey, you haven't done this. You need to go back, and it'll point you back to it. And you'll see a little red line at the bottom. I'm not going to go into detail about how integrations work, but let's say you have a product, and that product has a specific product number, and that product number is not really what you call human efficient or human legible. So it might be red XYZ002, and that's the product number for the red one, and this is the product number for the blue one, that there, for example. Now, when you want to integrate with backend systems, rather than sending red or blue, it's going to send red and blue, but it's also going to send these values as well, which can align specifically with your products in the backend, which means when you're integrating them, you're trying to find out which one's which. That's how you can do it. So I'm going to hit this, and the user won't see those. That's really just for the backend engineers. I'll hit the save button there, and you can see here's a very simple simple form field, red, blue. So moving on, each Nobby has the ability to have what's called verified languages. Now, this is different to what I showed you before, which is an auto-translated language. A verified language is where you've still got the human in the loop. And what this means is you can have, for example, a Nobby that's created in English, but you work in a safety critical industry, for example, in the mines in South America, and you need to make sure that where, if it's in Spanish or Portuguese, for example, that it's got the exact words that need to be in there from a safety perspective. So it's reviewed by a human. So using Spanish, I'll pop that in there and click on the Spanish one here, and you'll see it will auto translate everything into Spanish. Now, what you'll have someone do is someone will actually review all of these, and if they're happy with it, they'll go translation is verified, and they'll do the same for each one of these. So step by step, you're actually going to verify every single translation in the Nobby. And you're also going to check, like multiple choice, is that correct as well? Because you want to make sure these are all correct. Now, when you get all the way to the bottom, and I'll just run through them real quick, you can see as I'm doing these, the translation verify button is appearing. So the unverified part is disappearing, and we're making sure that a human has reviewed every single one of these. So at this point here, we can submit it for approval. And now anybody in Nobby, whether you're a member, an approver, or an admin, can create a Nobby. And this is important because we believe that everybody should have the ability to share knowledge, because knowledge comes from everybody in your organization. Now, the key thing is only certain people can actually approve that knowledge for being visible to everyone else. And this could be subject matter experts, safety experts, your manager, or however your approval process works. The next button is who actually has access to this Nobby. So there are 3 levels of access of Nobby, who can view a Nobby, and the most restricted one is to restrict it to a specific team. So when you're restricting it to a specific team, it could be, for example, the payroll team, and you may say that this information is sensitive and we want to just restrict it to a certain number of people within the organization. And you can set up, who is in that payroll team in the back end. You'll be provided with a link. You can copy that link or a QR code, and you can paste them anywhere. These ones are great for when you're doing site inductions. When a person arrives at the site, for example, they can scan a QR code at the front door, and it will tell them what they need to know about that specific site before they get in. It can also be, instructions for your products. So you can put a QR code on the box of your product, send it out there. Your customer will scan it, and it could be the setup instructions on how to do whatever they need to do to get your product up and running. So I'll leave it visible for anyone on the web right now and hit the next button. We have a change log for every Nobby as part of version control. But as an admin, I can actually hit the publish button myself. So I'll hit the publish button right now, and it's going to go off and publish. While it's publishing, it's streamlining that Nobby for every device out there. So it's making it ready for your iPhone or your Android phone, making sure the images or the videos are the right size to reduce the amount of bandwidth required for you to be able to access it on those devices.
It's also creating a downloadable version of the Nobby, so that you can be able to download Nobbies and store them directly on your devices, whether that's a phone or a tablet. So that's a really handy use case for people who are working in industries where they're outside of Wi-Fi connectivity and remote from mobile telephone networks. So it is, from the time you've uploaded a video, it takes about, as I said earlier, about 30 seconds to use the AI to create the step-by-step Nobby for you. And then you go through, you review it, make sure you're happy with it, hit publish, publishes in about 3 to 5 minutes, and then you're sharing.
Now, before we finish up, I just want to show you different ways to get access to support. So as I showed you in the Nobby app, there's a little question mark button in the top right that will take you to Nobby Know-How. If you type Nobby Know-How into Google or any search engine, you'll find Nobby Know-How website, and it will have all of those. It looks just like this, all the getting started Nobbies and everything you need. So feel free to explore that there. Additionally, you can send an email to support@nobby.co, or you can book a one-on-one demo with our team, with myself or Natalie or John or any of the other team members, and we'll walk through whatever questions, whatever use cases you'd like to solve for, and show you how Nobby can help you with that. So email us at support@nobby.co, and then we will send out a link that allow you to book a meeting in with the team. So yeah, any questions, give us a shout. We're here to help. We want to make sure that you can get the most value out of Nobby for your organization. Ultimately make you guys, as successful as possible. So thank you for your time today. Really appreciate you taking the time to either watch this after it's been recorded or to attend with us today. If you have any questions, as I said, shout out. Thanks, everyone.
Cheers.